What's up, real ones? Welcome to Let's View It. It's me, your wonderful, pleasant host, Tyrone Cross. And today, I'm bringing you guys a different type of video because I'm gonna cover sports. And I never cover sports. But right now, with Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, we gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about what's going on with the whole Caitlin Clark effect. Cause right now, in the WNBA, when it comes to the Caitlin Clark fans, I'm gonna call her CC from now on. When it comes to the CC fans and the rest of the fans in the WNBA, it is a reflection or a microcosm of racism in America today. Right now, a large percentage of CC fans are exposing that they're racist. Whether it's out of hate or whether it's just out of ignorance and they're following what everyone else is saying, only they know. Right now, the majority of CC fans, you can even go on TikTok and read hundreds and thousands of their comments saying that all the black WNBA players hate her because she's white and straight, that all the black WNBA players are jealous of her, that all the black WNBA players don't matter. And it's even got so ridiculous that anytime that CC gets a hard foul, the black players are targeting her and trying to hurt her, like she's the white Jackie Robinson. Now to my real ones, to my viewers, before I finish this video, comment below. Tell me what you think. Do you think the black WNBA players hate her because she's white and straight? Or do you think they're targeting her or trying to hurt her? Or do you think they're jealous of her? I'm curious of what you think now and if your opinion changed at the end of this video. Cause what I'm about to do now is a complete treat for you guys. I'm gonna do a complete timeline breakdown to how we even got to where we are, to why any of this is actually truly happening, and what's the truth behind the CC effect. I'm gonna start from her days in Iowa all the way to today's date, and then you guys will truly understand what is going on. So you already know, let's view it. Now, before I dive into the whole CC timeline and basically how it blew up into this whole race thing, let me explain something about racism. Racism in America never really just goes away. It might get less, but it never goes away. What it does is it evolves. Racism just evolves. As far as we know in America, it started with the black slaves. Now, I know some people want to argue, well, this country has slaves and that country has slaves, but why are we talking about another country? I live in America. I don't live in another country. I don't care what the other country did. If I lived in China, then maybe I would care more about their slavery then, but for now, I'm gonna keep pretending like I live in America. I'm talking about racism in America. First, we started off as slaves. We were property, not even a human being, just property. Then that became illegal and evolved to, well, now we're free, but we have no rights. And we're black and we're stupid and we're angry and we're violent, all because we're black. We can't vote, we can't be leaders, we can't be quarterbacks. We're just too stupid. Why? Because we're black. And once all that Jim Crow stuff became illegal, then it turned into, well, why do they wear their hat like that? What's up with that rap music? That ain't music. Dress professional. Put on smaller pants. Why you talk like that? Racism then evolved from attacking the color of our skin to actually just attacking the culture attached to us. If you think of anything that is actually black culture, it is looked at negatively in America. Even black people who grew up in the suburbs, so they talk more proper English, I guess you can say, say they sound educated. So you're basically saying every black person that grew up in a black neighborhood around black people who sounds black sounds uneducated or is not educated. But anyways, I'm getting a little off track. The point is, racism evolves. It doesn't go away. It's just gotten more and more passive aggressive. So much so, I understand it is hard to see from the outside. But when you're involved in it, when you're actually part of that passive aggressive racism, you notice it. And I'm gonna show you some examples of passive aggressive racism coming from the CC fans. Now, one more thing I want to disclose before I start talking about this, because I want you guys to know that I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just up here running my mouth. I actually watch the WNBA. I have a 10-year-old daughter that plays basketball. I'm really into the NFL and the NBA, and I play fantasy, UFC, WNBA, NBA, and NFL religiously, basically. So I know my stuff. I know about sports. So what I'm about to explain to you is pretty accurate to what is going on. And trust me, it's not what you guys think. Now let me fill you in to who Caitlin Clark is in case you took a really long 3-year nap. Now, Caitlin Clark was a college phenom who played for Iowa, and she set the scoring record for females in the NCAA, but set the crowd on fire by shooting really far three-pointers.
Didn't want them to think there was 10. Clark? Oh my!
She was really hyped up, called the Steph Curry of female basketball, and she's currently in her first year in the WNBA, where she basically quadrupled the viewings and the popularity of the WNBA. Not single-handedly, but she is responsible for a large amount of the fans that came to the WNBA. Now, when you first hear this, you would think that's a great thing. Anyone would, right? But after I get through this CC story, you're gonna realize this is a complete mess. Now let's start from the beginning. I'm gonna explain to you guys exactly what moment that Caitlin Clark's real popularity took off. And what I mean by took off, where it reached people that were not fans of the NCAA or people that did not watch females playing basketball. And what you're gonna learn is that CC's popularity actually took off during a situation that had nothing to do with her actual basketball skill. So what had happened was, during CC's junior year in college, she made it to the finals and met up with her rival, Angel Reese. I'm sure you heard of her too. She got drafted to the Chicago Sky. Anyways, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were battling each other in the finals. And that's when Angel Reese waved her hand like this, basically saying, CC can't see me, because Angel Reese won the finals. Now, the original CC fans, before the new CC fans come into the picture, the original CC fans that were watching the game didn't like that. They didn't like that Angel Reese did this. They called her ghetto, classless, bad role model. The list went on and on and on and on, right? Well, that whole hand thing blew up. That whole story blew up. And what it did is it started attracting even more CC supporters and even more CC fans. But unfortunately, these fans didn't care about basketball. The reason they were supporting CC had nothing to do with basketball. Did they hear the rumors that CC shot threes from the logo? Did they hear the rumors that CC is a great player? Yeah, of course they heard that rumor. But the reason why they attracted to her is because they didn't like the fact that Angel Reese did the hand wave and now want to have CC's back. These fans never even watched sports. They literally never watched a WNBA or a female play basketball in their lives. They just wanted to support the white girl against the black girl. And I cannot emphasize enough the amount of fans she gained from the hand wave incident. It completely surpasses the original fans that she had that just liked her basketball game. Completely surpassed it. So much so, the following year, that's when she's setting records on ratings and jersey sales and all that stuff. In fact, I didn't even know who Caitlin Clark was until the story of the hand wave came up. That's how I found out about her. Of course, I heard about the long threes and all that as well, but the way I found out about her was through the hand wave incident. Now, fair enough, I never watched NCAA. I watched WNBA and the NBA. I never watched NCAA. But with that being said, I'm not the only one that got drug in because of the hand wave. But it didn't stop there. CC did the hand wave. But what do you think the CC fan said now? That's right, how cool she is, how competitive she is. Everything was now a positive spin on the hand wave. And as you can imagine, that caused even more commotion because now everyone's like, hold up. So when Angel Reese does this, by the way, John Cena did this first, I believe. But when Angel Reese does this, she's ghetto, classless, this, that. But when CC does this, she's competitive, she's cool. Now the hand wave is cool. So of course you're gonna have people sitting back going, hold up. But what's the difference? There's only one difference that we can see, and that's when the seed of racism was planted in the whole CC thing. And I want to reiterate, I have a 10-year-old daughter that plays basketball, and she's serious about it. And like I said before, through the hand wave, I learned about CC, and I also heard about all these amazing things she was doing on the court. Shooting from the logo, breaking scoring records, this and that. She's Jesus with the basketball. And all that talk through the story of the hand wave got me and my daughter to watch the NCAA Final Four. And let me tell you guys right now, I was excited to hear about this girl CC. I had no hate, no bias, no nothing but, damn, I want to see this girl play. And I'll tell you right now, when I saw her play, honestly, I was like,
that's it?
That was my real thought. I did not see what the big deal was. I saw a lot of weaknesses in her game, but that's neither here nor there. So after CC gets her revenge on Reese and beats her out the tournament, she ends up getting to the finals, but she loses in the finals. Now everyone knows this is CC's last year in the NCAA, and now she's moving on to the WNBA. Now this is where the story gets crazy. Now let's do a quick review or summary of what is going on right now. So we had CC, the Iowa player. She was popular and she had a group of fans. We'll put them over here. Kind of hard looking at the camera. No, I'm gonna put them over here. They're over here. Yeah, this is them, right? This is her popularity right now. Then the hand wave comes and her popularity turns into something like this. Okay? It just goes crazy. So now CC has more followers than any female player ever, and she's entering the WNBA. So there's a big hype around her, right? She's bringing millions and millions and millions of fans to the WNBA. New eyes, a bunch of ticket sales are gonna happen. This is gonna be great for the game, right? Well, wrong. And you're gonna see what happens that turns such a good thing into a bad thing. So now we're at the point where CC lost her NCAA finals, and now she is in the draft for the WNBA. Now everyone knows she's gonna get picked first, and the team that has the first pick is the Fever, which happens to be the worst team, but now they're getting the best player who ever touched a basketball as a female. So everything goes as planned, and she gets drafted number 1 and goes to the Fever. So the Fever sell out their season tickets. The Fever sell millions of Caitlin Clark's jersey. The Fever are on more televised games. The WNBA is blowing up. The ratings are flying up. So what exactly happened that made this thing get so racial? What exactly happened that made this whole situation go south? No pun intended. Well, you guys remember how I told you she gained a majority of her new fans after the hand wave? And those fans joined her for the wrong reasons. They joined her because she was the white girl versus the black girl. I don't like saying that, and I hate to admit it, but a lot of them did. I'm not saying all her new fans did. Some of her new fans just want to watch her ball. But the majority of her new fans joined her because of the hand wave. They do not care or do not know anything about basketball at all. They're strictly there to back up their race. And the more I talk about it, the more messed up it sounds. Now, I don't have stats on this, but I believe that the new CC fans are the majority of her fans, and not only that, the majority of the WNBA right now. Because the WNBA was not at all popular. It lost money all the time. It never made a dime. Never made a dime. And now the ratings are blowing up. And that's mainly because of CC and her new fans. So I'm assuming the new fans completely outnumber the old fans. And that's also a big problem because now you got fans that know absolutely nothing what they're talking about, but act like they know everything just because they want to have CC's back. So anyways, as CC joins the WNBA, these new fans start disrespecting every WNBA player in the WNBA. Disrespecting them. And some of these CC fans are YouTube content creators, and they make all these channels mispronouncing every other WNBA girl's name on purpose, it seems like at this point, because I know once you see that girl play CC, whoop on CC, you must know their name by now. It's not Aja Wilson, it's Aja Wilson. And when you tell a new CC fan that Aja Wilson is a two-time champ and the current champ right now, they just say stuff like,
"Who's she? I'm here to watch CC."
And thousands of new CC fans get on social media and disrespect everybody in the WNBA, especially the black players. They say things like,
"I love CC. She's so classy and articulate."
What the hell is that supposed to mean? See, right there is an example of passive aggressive racism. Why are you claiming these other players aren't classy? Why are you claiming these other players aren't articulate? While in the same breath, you will literally state,
"I never watched this before CC."
So you just started watching, but apparently CC fans know everything about the women in the WNBA. So while all these CC fans are dogging all the other players in the name of CC, saying CC's the face of the WNBA would be nothing without CC, all these other players are nothing, you're constantly making fun of them, saying you don't know their name, you only know CC, you only care about CC, and then when the league treats CC unfairly and gives her charter flights and the other players find out about it, complain about it, so now the league's like, well, we should give them all charter flights. You guys go and turn it around like CC gave the WNBA players charter flights. So say thank you. Like CC walked in the office and said, you need to give us all charter flights. That's not what happened. She got a charter flight. They got called out on by the other players and they had to make it right. That's what happened. Was it through an effect of CC being there? Yeah, but she wasn't a savior. She wasn't a voice for them. And not only that, before she ever played her first WNBA game, all these new CC fans claimed that she was coming to the WNBA, launching threes from everywhere, and just make them all look horrible, showing that she's the best basketball player ever. I'm not even making this up. CC said none of this. This was all her fans. Now, as you could imagine, if you're a veteran player or the champion or the MVP and you're listening to this, all this disrespect, all about how this is CC's league, all about how she gave you charter flights, well, what message do you think you're going to send on the court when she steps on the court?
Caitlin Clark overtaking that, and Aja Wilson and that, and Aja Wilson and that, and Aja Wilson and that, and Aja Wilson.
You're going to go at her throat. You were going to do that anyways, because anytime you're a top rookie and you go into a pro league, they come for you. You're gonna try to send a message that this ain't her league, that this is my league and that's why I'm the champ, or this is my league and that's why I've been playing here for 10 years. You guys have to realize there's only 144 WNBA players and they can be replaced at any moment. So every day they are playing for their jobs. The WNBA in general is a more feisty, angry league. In general, plus they're women. But if you're a new fan, you don't know this, do you? But instead of sitting back, watching, enjoying the sport, asking someone that watched the sport more than you, hey, is it normal for someone to get fouled that hard? Then they can kind of fill you in when it might happen or when it might not happen, and then you'll know a little bit more. But being a new fan to a sport and then you decide to disrespect everybody in the sport in CC's name was not a good idea. So anyways, as the game start, these WNBA players are going at her and she's not playing well. And the simple fact is, there are better WNBA players than her. That's the truth. It's a truth that the new CC fans can't comprehend, they can't accept, and they will not accept. So even though CC brought millions and millions and millions of new fans to the WNBA, and I'm sure all these players were excited because they've been waiting for something like this. You don't think they want eyes on them? You don't think they want popularity? You don't think they want people enjoying their sport? They do. So of course, everyone in the league was excited about this. But all that's happening since the majority of the new fans are just basically racist CC fans is that when another WNBA player outplays her on the court or outshines her, she still gets no credit. They don't care. All they do is start making up excuses of why CC isn't playing well. That's all they do. Never do they stop and go, hey, who was that girl that's hella fast and blew right by CC? Hey, who was that girl that just made a deep three just like CC? Hey, who was that just took the ball from CC like it's nothing? They never do that. They never stop and go, hold up. There's a lot of talent out here. I didn't realize that. Instead, they just ignore all the other players and keep shitting on them. Unless they act out and foul Caitlin Clark hard, then all of a sudden they know who they are. But if they're outplaying them, they ignore them. So if they're outplaying Caitlin Clark, it does nothing for them. But if they act out against her or foul her hard like Trinity Carter, which we'll get to in a minute, then all of a sudden CC fans know their name. Now there's a different variable to this because CC is clearly the most popular female player ever, but she's nowhere near the best. So some WNBA players like A'ja Wilson and like that lady from The View will mention the fact that Caitlin Clark is white and combined it with their popularity. And CC fans, and ironically conservatives, are turning this into race baiting. I'm going to show you a clip of exactly what she said on The View, and then I'm going to tell you what people heard.
And so if Caitlin Clark is the vehicle that will bring this sport that I have loved so much and so long to little 5-year-old girls playing in Harlem, I say yes, bravo. I have no problem with that. With that being said, I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so part of it is about race. Now, you know, Caitlin Clark is bringing this money, these sponsorships, we hope, into the league, and other players will benefit from it. But I do think that she is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive.
So what did you guys hear her say? Because I could tell you what the new CC fans heard. It's the same thing they heard when they heard A'ja Wilson say something similar. They heard Caitlin Clark's only popular because she's white. That is not what anybody is saying. What she said is part of it has to do with the fact that she's white. She is more relatable because she's white.
Part part of it is about race. She is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive.
And Aja Wilson basically echoed the same thing, that her popularity is this big because she's white, not because she's the best. And she's not the best. She's clearly not the best. So why is her popularity so high if it has nothing to do with her color? But after Aja Wilson and this lady on The View said that, of course they all started screaming out,
They're racist.
which actually makes no sense, because even if they were racist, how is stating that someone else gets an advantage because of their race racist? So if you acknowledge racism going on, that's racist? That's like slaves saying their slave masters are only their masters because they're white, and then the slave masters tell the slaves they're racist for saying that. That makes no sense. I guess this is the new evolution of racism. If you notice someone being racist, they just call you racist. So even if Aja Wilson's like, she's only popular because she's white, that doesn't make her a racist. That's not racism. That's just showing the advantage of not being the other race. But that's not even what Aja Wilson meant. She meant this extreme popularity. And it's hard to argue that because she's not the best female basketball player. So you gotta wonder, why aren't these more talented, more exciting basketball players more popular than her? It really doesn't make any sense. So we got that element going on, that if you talk about her popularity having anything to do with her being white at all, then you're a racist and you hate her. And another element of the CC effect is every time she gets fouled hard, the CC fans start race baiting. They say she gets fouled hard because she's a white straight girl and all the black players hate her and are jealous of her. This is what the CC fans say. Mind you, CC is not saying anything. She just wants to play basketball. But with that being said, I'm going to show you a clip of the most infamous hard foul on Caitlin Clark this season, done by Chennedy Carter, and Chennedy Carter's response to the foul. And keep in mind, this is what the media shows you, because I'm going to show you more.
Kind of on the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the Fever
I
score.
didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's enough.
So there's the hip check, shoulder bump, whatever you want to call it, that Chennedy Carter did on CC. And that's what Chennedy Carter had to say about it. Nothing. She didn't snitch on CC at all.
Snitch? What do I mean snitch?
Well, they didn't tell you the whole story. Now all the CC fans think Chennedy just randomly ran into her and bumped her because
They hate her because she's white.
But the truth is, Chennedy was getting revenge from an elbow and a little bit of mess talking that CC gave her the play before.
So here's a breakdown of everything that happened before and after Caitlin Clark got blindsided and bumped to the floor by Chennedy Carter during today's Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever game. So late in the third, Caitlin Clark poked the ball away from Chennedy Carter, leading to a Fever bucket, and Caitlin's elbow appears to make contact with Chennedy while doing so, as she turns around and celebrates in Kennedy's face, and maybe even had a few words to say. Which then, moments later, Chennedy comes down and scores, and then retaliates against Caitlin with a blindside bump, sending Caitlin to the floor as her teammate Angel Reese hypes her up from the bench. And in conclusion, the refs decided that this hit on Caitlin was a common foul and not a flagrant. Now, with all that being said, here's what Caitlin had to say about that moment.
Yeah, that's just not a basketball play, but, got to play through it. That's what basketball's about at this level.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but I think it's just like, just respond, come down, let your play do the talking. It is what it is. It's a physical game. Go make the free throw and then execute on offense. And I feel like that's kind of what we did, but, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
Melissa, you said the other night.
And lastly, Chennedy let it be known that she's not answering any questions about Caitlin.
After the Fever
I
score,
didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
So that's the whole story. That was a revenge bump. And honestly, Caitlin Clark flopped. And what I mean by flopped is she fell over on purpose. Did she get bumped hard, and do I condone that? No, but she could have kept her feet. She didn't have to fall to the ground. She flopped. She is a flopper, like LeBron James. I have another example of her flopping even worse than that. That was a good flop. She pulled it off pretty well. It looked real. But this is a bad flop. She deserves an Oscar for that one. If Angel Reese is that strong, she should be scoring like 40 points a game. But you can see Caitlin Clark kind of threw herself with it to make it look like Angel Reese threw her. She did the same thing on the bump, but the bump was real, but she fell on purpose. She could have kept standing up. But anyways, Kennedy Carter got so much crap on social media for that, saying she's racist, saying everybody hates Caitlin Clark, that's why they do that. But you guys have to realize these are new CC fans saying this. They know nothing. They don't understand that all rookies get fouled like that. They don't understand that sometimes little tussles break out in basketball games. They don't understand that. They already decided how basketball should be, and when it's not like that, then it's because somebody else is doing something wrong. This had nothing to do with Caitlin Clark being white or them hating her. This has something to do with her throwing an elbow at Kennedy and saying something crazy. But also it has nothing to do with race, maybe her being a rookie, because before that earlier in the season, Angel Reese took one of the hardest, most dangerous fouls I have ever seen. Check it out.
There's got to be an upgrade. Look at that. I mean, she's grabbing her neck. Nowhere near a basketball. Yeah, and then pulls her down.
She literally got her neck grabbed in midair and thrown down on her back. Did everyone say they did that to her because she's black? Did anyone say the whole WNBA hates her? Or that Alyssa Thomas hates her because that's who chokeslammed her? No, it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, want to hear Angel Reese's response?
It's not just because I'm a rookie, I'm a player. I'm a basketball player. They don't give a damn if I'm a rookie. I mean, I want them to come at me every day. I want them to come at everybody. I mean, they're not supposed to be nice to me. I hope y'all know that. They're not supposed to be nice to me or lay down because I'm Angel Reese or because I'm a rookie. Like, thank you, AT, for sending the message to me because I got back up and I kept going and kept pushing. Like, me and AT have been cool since we were in Maryland, so I know it's not no hard feelings, and I appreciate her for going at me every day. Or today.
Those responses are night and day. CC saying they're too rough. Those aren't basketball plays. Other people can't do that. And Angel Reese is like, of course she's coming at me. I'm in the WNBA. You guys have to realize, I said this before, every day they play for their job. There's only 144 of them. Out of all the draft picks this year, only 12 players got a spot. 12 players. That's basically nobody. So they're always defending their job. If you're gonna join the WNBA, you better be ready for war. But the point being is these players do not hate Caitlin Clark. They love the attention. They're glad the WNBA is more popular. But they're not gonna just lie down just because all these CC fans want her to run the WNBA. It's not gonna happen. And the real problem is that Caitlin Clark isn't playing that well. So these CC fans are getting unhinged. They don't know what else to do but scream out hate and racism because they can't talk about her good play. There isn't any good play. She's playing actually pretty terrible at this point. She's close to being a bust. Now she's not a bust yet. She could turn this around and have a good career, possibly. But she has a lot of hard work to put in and she has to improve. And that's the truth. But these new CC fans, since they're driven by racism, they will not let CC just be a player. They will not let CC be in her proper rankings. I'm not saying CC can't be your favorite player. I'm not saying you can't only watch CC games. You can only watch CC games. That's fine. But the real question is, why do you have the urge that it's necessary for you to let everyone know you're only here for CC? Why is that so important to you? Why is it so important to you to let everyone know the only reason the ratings are up is because of CC. Why do the new CC fans have a hard time sitting their asses down and watching the game? What is their problem? And if you're gonna be a fan of any sports, then realize sometimes people are gonna blast your favorite player. It doesn't mean they're racist. It means they're into the sport too. So if someone puts up some bad stats by CC during the game, don't say,
"Oh, thanks for being racist."
That makes no sense. How is that racist? You overhyped her, so now people are bringing reality to you, and you don't like it, and you say it's racist. So we can talk bad about any player we want, except for CC. On top of it, this whole WNBA black players are racist stuff is ridiculous because there have been white great players in the WNBA since day one, and there still are. Better than CC. Why aren't they complaining about the black players hating them or being jealous? Because it's not real. This is a narrative that the new CC fans pushed. One, because none of them know anything about basketball, so they don't even know what's going on. I've had a CC fan say they need to give her the ball so she can throw her three. Throw her three? You sound like my mom. And the other problem is, the new CC fans tend to be racist because they joined the club all off of racial tension, off of the hand wave. That's when they joined. And unfortunately, as mentioned before, the new CC fans seem to outnumber everybody else. So it's really ruining the WNBA. No real WNBA fan is enjoying this. They're not enjoying not being able to critique CC's game or having real narratives about her talent without everyone saying that's hateful, that's racist. All these new CC fans do is sit there and watch the TV and see if they could find something to say it's racist. It's so ironic because these are white people, and didn't white people always say black people used to make up racial things? So then you guys were like, what?
Hold my beer?
Well, I'm tired of holding it. Here's your beer back. Can you stop ruining the league already? If you don't like basketball, just don't watch it. We don't need all your racial politics being brought into basketball. All you're doing is judging CC on a whole different level. She's leading the league in technical fouls, so you new CC fans decided to give her the nickname Spicy. You do realize getting technical fouls is not a good thing. It's never been a good thing. But since CC seems to collect so many of them, it must be good now. Hey, Draymond Green, just go into the WNBA and you could be spicy too. They will love you. But the point that I'm trying to make is these new CC fans are destroying the WNBA, and honestly, they're ruining it for CC herself. CC just wants to play basketball. Stop putting words in her mouth. Stop putting words in everybody's mouth. To all you new fake CC fans, stop trying to push racism. You're the racist one. Kelsey Plum is white and straight. Sabrina Ionescu is white and straight. Katie Martin, white and straight. Breanna Stewart, white. I'm not sure if she's straight. But you get my point. Everybody loves those players. And they're white. And they're straight. Or at least white. But for some reason, new CC fans, because they're racist, want to believe in 2024, since CC came in the league, now they all hate white straight players. Make it make sense. Look, if you're a new CC fan and you really want to enjoy the WNBA, welcome. Enjoy it. Enjoy the game. Enjoy what you learn. If you have any questions, ask them. Don't just assume that you know everything just because you want to protect CC or make her look good. That's not how it works. You have to understand there have been many hyped up rookies throughout the history of sports that become terrible pros. It's not a guaranteed transition. CC also knows this. So when you guys put all this pressure and act like she's going to dominate the league, shoot 23s in a row from the logo, while every other WNBA player puts their head down in shame with tears in their eyes. That's what you guys thought was going to happen, but that's because you guys don't know anything about sports. But my main point that I want to stick with you guys is that these WNBA players do not hate or are not racist against Caitlin Clark. The reason all of this is happening is because Caitlin Clark collected a bunch of racist fans that have nothing to do with basketball, that don't know basketball and can care less about basketball. They just like talking shit about black women while hiding behind basketball. They're not here to learn. They're not here to have fun. They're not here to join us. They're here to destroy the party. And that's basically what they're doing. And that's how it happened. Through the hand wave, CC collected a bunch of fans through racial tension, through racial motivations, and now they are the majority of the fans. And that's why when it comes to CC, there is racial tension. This is the first time ever I've ever witnessed racial tension in the WNBA, and it's only with her. In 2024, those fans were recruited by the hand wave. That's the only explanation I have, and they fully enjoy telling a black woman they're jealous of another white woman. That's it. That's what created this whole monster. There is no racism in the WNBA like that. Nobody hates Caitlin Clark. All she needs to do is take this offseason, train real hard, get stronger, get better, and see what she can do next year. That's it. This is not a big deal. All you new CC fans should be ashamed of yourself for giving CC a hard time. This is all your guys' fault for choosing to be ignorant and then choosing to spread your ignorance like it's not ignorance. But now that you know, the real problem with the CC effect and the racism and the hate is actually the new CC fans, all I need you guys to do is comment below. Tell me what you think. Did I piss you off? Are you one of the new CC fans? Are you a new CC fan, but really you just want to watch the game and all these new racial CC fans are ruining it for you too? Or did you already have the same opinion I had? But while you're telling me your thoughts, I'm also going to need you to hit that bell like the hunchback. Also click that hit checker button and sub ride with me. And I'll see you on the next trip. Day and night.
Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
All my life.
Keep it real. Keep it real, keep it real.
Can't help
Keep it real, keep it real, keep it real.
That's why
Keep it real, keep it real, keep it real.